Ta-da! Let's open up some runes. Oh, these are just basic runes. Nothing special, nothing extra fancy. Probably not even any, like... Ah, here we go. Here's something nice. Okay. This was 1 heart every second, so this goes back to every 3 seconds. Friendly elemental and teleport shock waves range increased. I don't think that does anything.
No, I can see your future is very grim.
No, I really feel like this doesn't do anything. Yeah, no. Just take that. What do you want to level up here? Nope, nothing else there. Um... Well, I mean, might as well just level up, what, Leap of Faith? Because we have a chance of using it? Um... Screw it, upgrade Leap of Faith. Wait, what does Leap of Faith want now? Cool, cool, cool. Death, truth, truth, Eddie. Oh, 50 grand! No, thank you, no. Oh my gosh, what? Sorry, no. Okay, that was a bit much more than I was hoping for. Now, this is only 10,000 extra. If I kill it, get extra arrows. That could be a lot of extra arrows. That could really be a lot of extras. Oh, right, I could get shield. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's go for the shield. Let's upgrade our health twice. Let's upgrade our health 3 times. Oh, the shield icon changed too.
No, I can see your future is very grim.
Yeah, no, we good. Let's go. Oh, I've forgotten what I was trying to do here. What is this game? Oh, right. Oh no, Conga the Ruthless. Oh, would you look at that? There's more gossip in town. How lovely. Just stand there and let me kill you. Okay. I really probably should talk more about this, but again, I mean, it's like 3 in the morning. I shouldn't be here recording this. I should be, you know, trying to sleep and stuff, but I don't want to just sleep now. I want to do something. Don't really want to play Magic. That seems like a bit much, but you know what? Recording some of this. It worked fine last night. Might as well work fine again tonight. I do find it very weird and arbitrary that, like, you have to stay to these paths. But I mean, if I could just run around in circles and stuff, just freely move around as much as I want, more or less, I could avoid being attacked a lot more easily than having to stay on these, like, one-dimensional paths. Oh, cool. Level up. Level, what, 14, 15? Yeah, last night, among my various streams I had a dream where I was showing Azure Heart of Darkness. A rather cool game from the PlayStation 1. And at the time, it had insane graphics. They didn't exactly age super well, but at the time, they were awesome. I still remember that game being decently hard, actually. I don't know, I played Celeste earlier. I only played about an hour of Celeste. I feel like, person going into both games blind, I feel like Heart of Darkness is more difficult. Because Celeste, the game Celeste, it doesn't hate the player. Heart of Darkness hates the player, okay? Like, You start off Heart of Darkness, you get through all those cutscenes that show you, like, why you are where you are. If you don't do anything for the first... it's not even very long, right? I think you have, like, 3 seconds to do something, or you die. It is a screen by screen sort of game, so it's not like, see this, like you move and like the screen moves off with you. Like Heart of Darkness, like the screen stays stationary, you get to the end of it, you move to a different screen, kind of a deal. The screen does not scroll. You just go from one screen right to another one, period. And I feel like it's possible to die on every single screen of the game, and in fact, it is quite likely that a brand new player would probably die on each screen of the game. Who knows, maybe at one point I could do like a be in the game so I don't feel the need to have to do a let's play of it. Like, yeah, like I've already beaten it, I don't need to beat it. But it could be interesting to play through the game and just see if it is true that one could very well die on... If a new player could be expected to die, child could be expected to die on every single screen of the game. I did a count while I was playing through it, as I recall. There are only about, I want to say 123. I don't think that's it. Might be almost 200 screens of the game. And if you're the sort of person who gets angry when the little video game character dies, don't play Heart of Darkness. I almost feel like playing that game has made me become the sort of person who doesn't get angry when my little video game character dies, as long as I can just, keep playing the game. That's the thing with Heart of Darkness. Like, a lot of games at the time had a life counter, like, oh, hey, you only have, 3 lives. If you lose all of your lives, you have to, restart the game or go back to your save or whatever. Like, hey, you lose a decent chunk of progress if you run out of lives. Heart of Darkness, it's, oh, you died 50 times in this level? Lol. Keep trying. Or, not even level. Hey, you died 50 times on the screen? Yeah. Go for 51. It's like, yeah, we'll just put you right back at the start of the screen. Keep trying. And it's like... So it's like a weird thing of, the game hates the player in that it is really easy to die over and over and over and over again. I have a feeling that some of the events that happen might legitimately be RNG on if you die or just live. There's one spot in particular that I think might be RNG. And it's decently early on, too. Oof. But I mean, hey. Playing a game where your character can die just over and over and over again, and the only penalty is, well, gotta keep trying. I seem to not care so much when I play, I don't know, something like Celeste and I die 20 times in one room because I can't make one little jump. It's just like, alright, let's keep trying. Whatever. Like, yeah, I don't understand how people can get so angry about, it's like, oh no, you died. So, like, do you lose? Do you have to pay 25 cents to put an extra credit in the machine every time you die? Like, why are you so mad about it? Like, people break controllers and break their consoles and, well, mostly break controllers and break their televisions because, oh my gosh, I died in this video game. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't be playing video games if you're going to break stuff just because your little pixel character, whatever thingy died. It's like, seriously? Like, grow up, honestly. I get aggravated at games sometimes, but that's kind of fun. But that's just fun. I recently set to upload a video of when I was playing the Minecraft mod pack because I was looking for crying obsidian in a place that, as it turns out, did not actually have any crying obsidian. I thought it was a bastion. It was not. My bad. Whatever. And for maybe the entire episode, I'm just complaining about, like, oh yes, of course. As soon as they get back here, they come and swarm me, and now they're about to die. If you could just die right now, that would make my job a whole lot easier. And then I jump off of a ledge, miss aim my jump a little bit, and I wind up dying, and so now I have to come all the way back, and it's like, the whole time though, I was smiling, like, I was enjoying myself. It was fun. Like, yeah, I was okay, oh my god. It's like this game here is trying to give me an example of, hey, yeah, I don't have to be, you know, doing super awesome, mega spectacular at a game. I'm still having fun here. I'm being absolutely, like, swarmed by demons and stuff. I'm having fun. Ow. Like, yeah, I hope I don't die so I can get, like, that achievement, whatever. But if I do die, it's like... because, like, yeah, if I die, then I lose out on a few perks, blah, blah, blah. But if I was really adamant on not dying, I would probably be paying a bit of attention to the game, one would imagine. Okay, cool, whatever. Most of the swarm seems to have died down somewhat, a little. Ah, no, whatever. Yeah, I just spent the entire episode just, like, complaining about my bad lot and of luck and that. So I was having a great time. It's like, yeah, sometimes, like, controls get dropped and your little character dies and there's basically nothing you can do about it. Oh, well. It happens. So? Sometimes I go to play some Commander against other players and everyone at the table decides, hey, Claire should die. And then, so they all team up against me and make sure that I'm out of the game, despite me not being a threatening impulse, but they decide that, and it's like, well, that's kind of annoying. But then again, sometimes I try to play Magic with people, and they go on a transphobic / homophobic / sexist tirade against me. It's like, oh my gosh, you're a girl, blah 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 blah, make me a sandwich, blah 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 blah. And it's like, well, that's annoying. Yeah, save the really terrible reactions to the people and things who actually deserve it. Like, if I'm playing Magic with people and they all decide to just go after me because whatever reason, but they don't say why, it's like, oh yeah, well, I think that you had a bigger board stage, whatever, so we're just going after you anyway. It's like, okay, whatever, they're rude, might block them so I don't play with them again, but like, whatever. If they go on like a transphobic, homophobic, sexist, racist, I don't, it's like, I'm trying to recall, but I don't believe that I've actually ever been on the receiving end of racism. For a rather obvious reason. I've been on the receiving end of the others, though. Yes, while playing Magic: The Gathering. Or playing a children's card game with strangers on the internet. And it's like, save the, like, caring about what's happening. When it's actually worthwhile to care about what's happening. Sometimes people might say something that's homophobic or whatever, but they just don't know any better. So it's like, oh, hey, blah, blah, here's the thing, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, shoot, I'm sorry. And then they don't do the thing again, and it's like, cool, yeah. They learned and grew as a person. No need for me to be angry about them for not knowing about that. I'm sure I said and did homophobic things back when I was younger, and I'll probably wind up saying and doing more homophobic, racist, sexist, whatever stuff in the future, because, like, maybe I'll say a term and it turns out, oh no, that's actually a really racist term against this one group of people that I never heard about, but I'd heard the term be used before. So I copied it in same context because I have not Googled I have not looked up in the dictionary every single word that I will ever use. Because that is a lot of words. So when someone says a word that is a slur that I know is a slur, I feel like it's better to give them benefit of the doubt. Maybe they happen to not know. There are a number of slurs where an average person very well might not know. There are some that the average person would be expected to know. And games stuff, yeah. I played a Magic game, I want to say today. I think it was yesterday. I feel like it was yesterday. Didn't I talk about this in the last episode, actually? Played a Magic game, I was the arch enemy. I would have felt really guilty if I had won, so I was helping the other people to defeat me. Like, come on, yeah. Yeah, I think I talked about this during the last episode. I'm recording this clearly the day after, as opposed to, like, the night before it's supposed to air. But yeah, it's just like, hey, listen, work together. Please, try to beat me. Right, I talked about how it's like playing D&D and stuff, and basically all day today I've been just obsessed with one specific scene from one specific video game that I want to share the emotional impact of that scene with others. Because I know I was very much emotionally impacted by it, and I would love for other people to also be affected in much the same way. But the only ways I really know of sharing such a scene, you know, such a moment with others, is either be through writing, which would not be able to carry the gravitas of the situation, or through, like, basically DMing, running a tabletop game for people, which could hold the gravitas of the situation. However, it'd have to be done just right. And if you all want to know what exactly it is that I've been reminiscing about, watch my playthrough of Unsighted, or play the game yourself. It is a nice game. I really kind of want to play it again. The game had a lot of really serious ideas to it that I wasn't sure about. But that game is solid and good, I say, as someone who wasn't willing to complete a second playthrough of it. I mean, screw it. Maybe I'll start just recording again just to do it, but I've gone so much in the mindset of, I beat this game, I'm done with it. Don't play through games again. Don't, keep going through. Just beat the game, move on to the next one. Beat the game, move on to the next one. There are a few games that I, essentially keep playing ad nauseum. Like, I keep getting into different Pokemon games, but I keep trying, different challenges of them. Or, like, Co-op, Nuzlocke, was it Soul Link, whatever stuff, and really want to try some sort of like Yu-Gi-Oh or MTG or whatever. Soul Link that I think, oh gosh, not Soul Link, Nuzlocke, right? Although a Duel Masters Nuzlocke would be really stupid to do. So the idea of it, of course, the biggest idea behind Nuzlocke is once your, creature faints, whatever, is considered dead and you can't use it anymore for the rest of the run. So the idea for that for a card game is when your creatures die, they're gone. Period. They go away. Well, they don't actually go away. We have to pretend as if you cannot use that card again. If you get an extra copy of it, then sure, you can use it. You can use the new copy. I feel like I've... Yeah. There's that one Yu-Gi-Oh game, was it Legend of the Duelists, whatever? I feel like you could do a Nuzlocke with that, because you start off with, a bit more than a deck's worth of cards. I think with Yu-Gi-Oh! The biggest issue to it is okay, but what if you Monster Reborn a monster? Does it still count as dead? I think it would still have to count as having... If it died, it died. Monster Reborn brings it back for that duel, but it's still, dead for the sake of all future duels. I think you have to just go with that. That's the best way to do it. Well, yeah. So I almost never replay games after I finish them because it's well, I've already beaten them, I should play something else now. And it's like, I guess that is kind of the mentality I want to get into. It's like, yeah, if there's a game I particularly like, and I think it'd be fun to do another series of it, sure, but, like, there are games that I played that I've had fun with, and then I just think, like, yeah, there's no reason for me to, like, ever play this game again, basically. But something like, say, Heart of Darkness, I kind of do want to play again, just because, mostly I have, like, memories of it. Yeah. Ape Escape, I would be so down for doing Let's Play of. I have beaten the game. But there's something strange, but it's like, there was... The fun of playing... Yeah, the fun of playing certain games is the fun of not... Is the fun of having... Of being able to play them for the first time. If I tried to play them knowing the answers to everything, they just flat aren't as good. Ape Escape, spending all that time trying to get certain monkeys, not realizing that, oh no, you'll get a special tool later on to do it, or searching through a level trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go, and then... Or, heck, playing Ape Escape and just messing around with the RSC car. Something I can't really strictly do if I'm doing a recording of it, because I can't just, you know, mess around and stuff. Sometimes just messing around with the game is fun, and then you have to think, like, okay, am I playing this game just to beat it, or am I playing this game just to have fun? If you're messing around with the game and having fun with it, isn't that just a version of succeeding? Isn't that just... If you have like 6 hours of free time to play a video game, you play it for 6 hours, accomplish none of the goals, but you have a heck of a lot of fun with it, isn't that a success? Like, playing Halo 3, I had very little interest in completing the main story. Like, if I was playing with people and they kind of were all like dragged me into playing through it, okay, fine, whatever. But for the most part, I didn't care about it. What I cared about was the Halo 3 custom maps. That was what I wanted to do with Halo 3. And that's something that I'd love to do again. I'd love to find just a group of random, friendly people. I've been trying to look for a Discord service for it, in fact. It's like, hey, let's just get a bunch of Halo 3 custom maps. There's like a... You can play, like, the Halo 3 maps and stuff on the Halo, like, Steam game, whatever. Let's just download a whole bunch of old, nice custom maps. Get, like, what, a 6-person, maybe an 8-person lobby? Heck, yeah, nice 8-person lobby. And just play hours upon hours of Halo 3 custom maps. I don't care if I'm recording it or not. What I care about is just playing... I don't want to do, like, deathmatch or blah, blah, blah. I don't want to play the game just to run around, shoot people, try not to be shot at, just go shoot them, whatever. Like, whatever. Last time I tried that, what, a few months ago? Last year? Something like that? I was pretty good at it. Don't care. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll do it. Don't find it fun, but I'll do it. Dude, yeah, I don't care if I'm recording it. I just want to do that just for the fun of it. There were... And it's like, oh, well, why do you mean you want to play custom maps if you don't want to just do, like, firefight, blah, blah, blah. It's like... Because the custom maps have, like, custom modes to them that make them interesting. Like, yeah, sure, zombies is interesting enough. But the different game, like, the Stairway to Heaven map was a very interesting map to play zombies on, because all the humans, you know, go up this tower and they have this little base to protect themselves. They have, like, some rockets, some snipers, whatever. But the ammo is overall limited. There's, like, one main path to defend. But certainly, pretty much every single time, just the onslaught of zombies would eventually just get up the Stairway to Heaven and take out the survivors anyway. Like, or some of the custom maps are mazes, so the fun is just, you know, hey, let's not shoot each other. Let's just go through this maze, try to find your way through. Ooh. There's this one custom map that I had that was like, I wanted to say almost puzzles. It was like, do the right thing or essentially just die. And it had some really interesting ideas, like, because Halo 3, some items are subject to gravity and some are not. So you can have certain items just floating in the air by either, say, putting a platform underneath them, and then once the item stabilizes, it stops being subject to gravity and can then float. So you either put it on an item, wait for it to stabilize, take out the item underneath, boom, it's floating, or hold the item exactly where you want, save the map, quit the map, rejoin the map, and then it's standing right there. Putting the item underneath it is better. In Halo 3, very few items were not subject to gravity. Almost everything would just fall. I remember specifically teleporters wouldn't, and those were one of the only things that wouldn't. I imagine it's because, like, if an item is subject to gravity, you can move it with, like, explosions and stuff, and the devs really didn't want players to be able to move teleporters just as a player. Probably figured that'd be too much, so blah 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 blah. Whatever. There's one item that's like the grav launcher. Basically, like, you stand on it, pushes you like forwards. However, you put an item on it, the item gets moved forward. Unless, of course, it gets stopped by something. One of the things it can be stopped by is, I don't know what even the term was, like an energy ball type deal, whatever. I think that if the player touches it, it just gets immediately absorbed and is gone until it, like, you know, respawns. So you could have a trap set where once a player collects an energy ball, then like a dumpster that was being held in place by that, a dumpster on a grav lift that was being held in place by that energy ball then gets launched into the player's face and kills them immediately. Or, we're getting so off track here. I remember there were custom maps that was like one person. Honestly, Zombies mode led to a lot of interesting custom maps that weren't just like that were like one against the rest as opposed to just evenly decided. Because there were a few maps that was like the one person starts in the middle and everyone else starts on a ring, on one spot of a ring far out from the middle, and they have to like run or drive or whatever all the way around the ring. Then they can either like get a sniper to kill the person in the middle, or get like a rocket launcher, or just get into a flying vehicle and kill them, whatever. Whereas the person in the middle has like a sniper rifle and they have to try to kill everyone who's traveling. It was one particular one that was really fun that I did like a lot of was where the person in the middle, it was set where they could not actually kill the players by direct damage. Even with a headshot, it wouldn't kill them. But the players going around had to use a vehicle or else they wouldn't be able to make it past certain, like, gaps. If they didn't have a vehicle, they'd have to jump off, die, and lose the round. And, you know, or, you know, go back to the beginning, get a vehicle. So the idea is that you either use the sniper to try to pop the tires of the vehicle so it can't make the jumps and they would have to die. Or you get really lucky with the rocket launcher and it just shoves them off the course. Which was also fun. I've seen a few moments of, you know, person driving through, they go up for jump, they think everything's great. They just get absolutely bodied by a rocket launcher. They don't blow up and die, they just get pushed so far off course that they, you know, fall and die. Good classic fun, honestly. Or the custom maps that, because in the Halo 3 we'd be able to be in like voice call together as long as I don't remember how the voice call went, if we had to join an Xbox Live party together, or if we could just all hear each other no matter what, or we could hear each other for close enough. I don't remember, and I don't think it matters. But we play zombie maps that are like Bad Teacher or whatever it was called. Like, the one who's infected is like the teacher of the class and all of the others are students. Their goal is to try to, you know, get out of the class so they can like escape and be free. And the teacher has enough power that they could, you know, kill any of the people playing as students just whenever they want to. Of course, if you just kill all of the other players immediately, well, that's not, like, fun. You just win, okay, so what? So you have to wait until you can call them out for being a bad student. But even then, you can't just kill them for anything. It's like, oh, were you talking to your neighbor? Because the person, like, turns to look at the person next to them. Well, look, a voice chat together, we can talk to them. It's like, oh, were you talking to your neighbors? To your neighbor, oh, that's it, go to detention. And it's like, oh, where's the detention? It's like, oh, detention's in this other room. It's like, oh, could you lead me to the... It's like, okay, here's the detention. And then it's like, oh, teacher's out of the room. Run! We can't talk because the person playing the teacher knows what you're saying. So you just have to try to silently just, as soon as the teacher leaves to get into the detention, that's when the student who got the detention then has to try to distract the teacher for a while. And everyone else just runs for it. Teacher knows that this is the plan. So they go into the detention room, and then they try to immediately come back. Well, that one student is trying to distract them and keep them from coming back, of course. So yeah, they know that everyone else is going to try to leave, and they know that this player is like going to help the others to try to leave, because that's kind of the whole point of everything. So you can't just leave this player getting unpunished while you're trying to get all of the other players. But there's like basically like a maze, or a long corridor to lead to freedom, and the teacher goes faster than the students, so you just have to hope that teacher either doesn't care enough to keep pursuing you, which of course they care enough to keep pursuing you. Or that, like, maybe you just get lucky enough to manage to make it out before the teacher can get you or something. Usually you can't, that's... You get a little bit of an adrenaline rush, say. It's like, oh my god, the teacher's coming! Oh no, the teacher killed Louie! The teacher killed Louie! It's, it's just like, oh, but how far can we even make it out? And then, of course, inevitably, occasionally, when like this happens, it'll be like just one of the students just still in the class. Like, what? I didn't run away like the others. I was a good student. But of course, by that point, the teacher's already killed all the other students. It's like, okay, time for a new round. Kill that one anyway. Someone else can be the teacher next time. I think I remember a play where, like, basically all of that had happened. Student misbehaving, teacher brought them into... I think it was like, teacher, like, led them into the detention. And the detention was connected to the classroom just through a teleporter. You walk through the teleporter, you go through the detention, you walk through the teleporter in detention, you get back to the class. So the idea was that student gets detention, goes into the detention room, tries to convince the teacher to go into the detention room, somehow stands on the teleporter. Like, they teleport back to the class, teleport back into detention, stay on the teleporter so the teacher can't get into the classroom while everyone else leaves. I think that was the thing that they were going for. So, like, almost everyone else leaves. Teacher manages to get into the classroom. You know, runs down the halls, takes out all the runaway rogue students. There's one student, like, left in the class. There was one student, like, who didn't run away, who was still in the classroom. When the teacher came back, they couldn't find that one student left. It's like, huh, what? That student couldn't have left. The hallway, like, I would have seen them in, like, the hallway. It's a very narrow hallway. Where could they have gone? And it's like, oh, maybe they went into the detention, because that's the only place they could have gone. And my memory's a little bit foggy on this. But I believe at this point, there was, I don't remember if the other player was in the detention, waited for the teacher to come in, and then, like, rush through the teleporter as soon as, like, behind the teacher, or if they were, like, hiding, like, behind the teacher's desk and just pulling a super sneaky ninja move to try to hide. It was one of the two. Teacher walks into detention, the student starts running for it, teacher doesn't know any better, everyone else in voice chat ruins it. It's like, oh, go, go, go! So now the teacher knows that the student is running. So the teacher starts running as well, but the student had, like, somehow had enough of a head start with this before the teacher caught on that they were able to actually escape. And it's like, yeah, you know, fun times. Like, I believe someone once made, like a vending machine in Halo 3. You could, like, just, you know, choose, like, whatever option. It's like, oh yeah, I want, like, this, like, the Warthog vehicle. And then it's like, okay, here's a somewhat damaged Warthog. Wasn't a map to, like, really play on, because there wasn't, like, anything else beyond that. Or sometimes there'd be weird glitches, and it's like, how does that work? I very faintly remember one particular glitch where if a player... There's something about if you hold a turret and are, like, moved away from the turret and pull it off or something, like, you die. But then it's like, if you're playing in multiplayer, was it the host can't see it, but the others can? If you're playing in single player, then you can see it. Where just, like, your character's body, like, your character's old body, the corpse, is dead, but is just standing there in the position of holding a gun. It's just a corpse that's just standing there, and it's like, but not all of the players in the game can see it, unless you're just playing, like, by yourself. Like, something about the game glitches, the host sees it properly, in that the body's lying on the floor, but the other players, the body stopped animating as soon as it died, so it's standing there. I don't remember how to cause it, and I kind of really want to load up a Halo 3 again and see if I can redo it. Well, there's this one map that was like just like the dropper, and again, it was a custom infection map where most of the players are basically inside a semi-narrow hallway, and the infected, the zombie, is... So basically the hallway is... Yeah, well, it's a hallway there at, like, a dead end at one end, and the other end, like, stops and it goes straight up. With, I think, some, like, of the, with the grav launchers that I mentioned earlier at the end of it to stop the players from leaving, and also, whenever the infected drops an item down the chute, this is like a big chute, bunch of items down, whenever they drop an item down it, it just gets sent down the hallway to the players, and the idea is, hey, put things down the chute and try to kill them before the time runs out. And for some reason, I distinctly remember playing in that, being one of the ones trapped in the chute, and, like, it's kind of exciting, because, like, item will just come after you, and you have to try to, like, dodge it, and, like, maybe sometimes, like, they'll send a big box down, and, but if you can dodge it, then you can, like, stand behind it, or maybe you'll try to get a bit clever and stand directly behind another player and hope that they don't dodge, so they get killed, but you live, although I've totally seen that not work, where the person in front died and the person behind both died as well, because the item was just coming down that fast, and... Like, yeah, I would love to get, like, a group of, like, 7 other people, and we just play, like, Halo 3 custom games. Especially if I could record it. Oh my gosh, if I could record... If I could get a group, and we could, like, say, get together, like, say, once a week. Just dedicate, I don't know, 4 hours. I should look for a Discord server for that. See if there's a group that, say, already does that I could just join. It's like, hey, there's one map that... And, like, sometimes, heck, just playing deathmatch on maps can be fun if the map is interesting enough. There are ones that are called, like, Hurricane, that, I mentioned before that items can respawn in Halo. When you make the map in Forge, you can, like, set... Like, wherever the item settles, that's where it spawns. If it's an item that is subject to gravity, and then I think it's... Yeah, if the item winds up... It's either if it winds up moving away from its spot or getting destroyed, then after a certain amount of time it can respawn. I remember also... I also remember playing in Forge mode and utilizing that tactic to make a vehicle that could just... no longer be constrained by gravity. It's not that it's unaffected by gravity, because it can still move. Yeah, I guess unaffected by gravity is not the right term for the objects. They're more like stasis locked. But this would be a vehicle that's like unaffected by gravity. You drive it up a slope and it just keeps going. It's also indestructible. Someone shoots it with a rocket launcher, you're fine. I kind of want to do Forge mode where someone's in a vehicle, 2 people are using the, like, antenna, like, giant antennas, whatever. and just basically just playing catch or whatever, batting the person in a vehicle between them. Oh god, I wonder if you could almost make that a game mode, a Forge-based game mode. Because you can only be flying the vehicle in Forge mode because someone has to be using the Forge-specific mode thing and holding the object that is tied to the vehicle at the time of the vehicle, at the time of the glitch being executed. So someone has to be holding onto that object for the vehicle to remain, like, weightless.
Ah, great.
So you can't, even if you make the vehicle in Forge mode and then save it, you can't then utilize it in regular game mode. Unfortunate, but oh well. Oof. Yeah, just two people. Yeah, 2 teams of 2. This is an immortal vehicle. And, like, person with, like, radio antenna. You have to try to use the radio antennas to screw over the other side, while also keeping your side safe. So maybe occasionally you have to drop the radio antenna so your side isn't just floating off into the ether, and I don't know, could be fun. Oh yeah. Was that one custom game? Like Ducks in a Row or something? Basically the same idea as the one I mentioned with the shooter in the middle and everyone driving around. Except this one was walking based. Everyone who wasn't the shooter was also had to dye their armor like bright yellow. Just to match like the Ducks in a Row theme. So yeah, no, we're ducks. We're all yellow. Well, can't argue with that. Is this floor done? There's more down here. Yeah, no. Wait, either it's done and it didn't say so. Oh, there's a lot more to go here. But anyway, right, the hurricane map. So, boxed in, so a nice, big, wide, open area. But with high walls on either side so you can't escape. And then on one side of this big hallway, a whole bunch of grav launchers. You know, leading into the middle. Yeah, it's basically like playing the, that one hallway infection, the dropper game that I mentioned, except the items just spawn in the air above the grav launchers every so often, just basically set to like random respawn times. They don't all just respawn at once. The beginning is hectic. And the idea is like, okay, fight. Some of the items that get spawned in are weapons. So, hey, maybe you'll be able to find a rocket launcher among the rubble. Maybe you'll get killed by the rubble. Maybe you'll be able to use the rubble to be able to escape. I feel like for sure one of the most interesting maps I played was one that, on its surface, was very simple. It was just a box. They used like wall pieces and basically just made 6-sided box. Except they put it diagonally. So you'd spawn one thing and you'd think it's like the floor, but then you'd be able to climb up one specific wall. And when you're first playing it, it's so weird, because, like, this is not a thing that's normally supposed to happen. I'm sorry, what is going on? I don't follow. And then you get used to it, it's like, oh yeah, it's just, you know, diagonal box. And then someone basically made that concept and upgraded it to make a whole little map, enclosed map area that was, you know, on a diagonal. And once you get used to the fact that everything is diagonal, it's like, the floor is not here, the floor is here. Like, It's not, oh, you're running up that one wall. It's, you're running up these two walls. Because the floor is at this diagonal part at the bottom. Well, really, the floor is these two walls. Once you get used to that, it gets better. But it's still really interesting to try to fight in. It's like, yeah, like, I could just do, like, whatever, free-for-all or deathmatch, whatever. In interesting maps like that. Like, yeah, get me a nice hurricane map. Let's fight in that. I don't care about playing through the game and getting skulls and mission stuff, although... Okay, there is something about the main campaign of Halo 3 that I did actually care about. And that was that in the first level you could surf. At the time of Halo 3's release, I'm not sure about by the time it ended. I think even by the time it ended, there weren't many custom maps that you could play on that had much water in them. I recall only two, and both those were like a beach, and this, curiously enough, surfing did not work well on the beaches. The idea was you just take a pallet, put the pallet on the water, jump down onto the pallet, and just kind of float around and stuff. At the end of the first level of Halo 3, there were lots of pallets around, and you could absolutely just carefully knock a pallet into the water, jump onto the pallet, start surfing. And if you die, oh no, you respawn your checkpoint, which is probably after all the enemies are dead anyway. Just an issue of there's a limited supply of pallets and they don't respawn. It was nice, it was kind of fun, it was cute. So many mini bosses, oh my gosh. Well, I think I know what I'm going to do tonight as I try to get to sleep. Try to see if there's such a server. I tried to join such a server a while back, and it's like, oh yeah, we do like yeah, we do Halo custom nights. It's like, yeah, but it's not Halo 3 custom nights. It's Halo Reach custom. It's not. Yeah, it's not Halo 3 that you do. It's Halo Reach, and I mean, to be fair, custom maps Halo Reach could be better than Halo 3 ones. I just, in my experience, found that they weren't. But also, it wasn't even custom maps. It was, oh yeah, no, we just like go online and fight like team deathmatch, 8 on 8 or whatever, or you know, however many people we have, and we just fight. I still distinctly remember I used to do team deathmatch 8 on 8s. And I'd go on, like, you played Halo 3, you know, you could make, like, these custom levels and stuff. Custom levels and custom game modes. And you could basically share as many as 6 of them. 6, like, things that you have made. So all anyone would have to do is click on your profile, then they could just save the things that you had made, and yada yada, all is well. So yeah, that's what I used to do. Go onto the 8-on-8 games, and then just, I think after, it was after the game when you could look at the other people's profiles and stuff. Just like, yep, see what you have, see what you have, see what you have. Oh, this looks interesting, save it. This looks interesting, I'll save it. Oh yeah, this looks like fun, I'll save that. Yeah, playing around in Forge mode. Learned a lot about the game. I learned that sometimes an item spawn location is like stasis locked. It doesn't matter where anything else in the map is, it'll always just respawn right there. It does whatever else you do. And some potential spawn locations are not stasis locked. For example, the elephants from the Sandtrap map. Elephants being absolutely giant vehicles, like, I'm not kidding, like, it's a vehicle about, I almost died out there. It's a vehicle about the size of, like, a house. Like, seriously, it's massive. If you put something to spawn in there, it will spawn in the same location in the elephant as opposed to the same location on the map. Which is nice if you put, like, say, a turret in the elephant. Then if the turret breaks, which is easy to happen during normal gameplay, instead of it spawning at some random place on the map that could be far away, if people had, you know, driven the elephant away, it's, you know, the exact same spot on that same elephant. In one of the maps, there was basically a floating platform in the middle of the map. I never really thought much of it, it's just a platform. Whatever, big deal, right? Well, if you put something to spawn on that platform, it spawns on the platform. But the platform itself is not stasis locked. And so, therefore, the things that you set to spawn on it are also, in the same virtue, not stasis locked. So, I think how to do this was, we had to set a custom game mode. So I think we had to do everything else. Okay. What we found out that you could do is you could put explosives on there. Put like a bunch of explosives, like 15 or so explosives, to all spawn on it with the absolute minimum respawn time, like 0-second respawn time. And then detonate them. While the explosion is going off, odds are that one of them is able to respawn and explode again. While it's exploding, at least one more can spawn in and explode again. So they're all able to just keep respawning, exploding, respawning, exploding. And this platform is being moved around with all of these explosions. So the thing just goes absolutely crazy throughout, like, this whole open area of the map. This is just getting pushed around, essentially down, not directly down, but effectively just down from all these explosions that are always on top of it because they spawn relatively locked to the position of this thing. Oh, two more of these baddies. Good thing I can jump. Okay, yeah, that was quite a while. It's just... It's like 4 a.m. 4:37 a.m. I should be sleeping. But yeah. Who knows? Like, I have no idea what I'm doing with my channel. I just know that I'm playing games. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just playing games. Maybe I should be spending all of this playing games time on, you know, exercising and cooking healthy meals, and I don't know, maybe I should just actually get a job so I have money for like healthy eating and stuff, and to go out to the grocery store every day to buy fresh vegetables to, or you know, I could just play games. Is that the last one? Please tell me that was the last one. Oh good, that was the last one. So time will tell what I wind up doing. I don't know what I'm going to do for games. I never know what I want to do for games. I just do them as they happen. We'll see what happens.